All right, take two. Let's see if we can get this done this time. Jesus Christ. Good morning again. It's Tuesday, about 10:30. Not bad up here today. Supposed to be in the upper 40s, low 50s. At least the sun's out. The last couple of days have been low 40s and rain. It was pretty miserable around here. So, yeah. I got the Aurora group build finished. Hosted by Mark from Montana and Kyle at KRD Scaleworks. Thanks for holding it again, fellas. Much appreciated. I will be in. As long as I'm alive, I'm in. If those old kids bring back some memories for me. I never built this one here. I'll tell you, I'm glad I didn't until I had some experience. Not because this came out in '77. The kit that I built is from 1977, and yeah, it gave me all I can handle, especially that front end. Yeah, the front end is not for the beginner. Okay, pictures at the end. I put a bunch of pictures at the end if you want to go just look at the pictures. I'm gonna give you some history on this. Pretty cool bike during the war. So I'm going to spin you around, and I'll read you the history. Hang on. I think we'll move you over here so you can look at the bike. How's that? Get that out of the way. There you go. Drop it down a little. How's that? There we go. Perfect. All right. The Triumph 3HW. Among the many motorcycles used by Great Britain during World War II, the Triumph is one of the best known. Built to similar basic size and performance specs as other manufactured models, the Triumph 3HW typifies the standard British motorcycle of this period. Over 425,000 motorcycles were built by the British industry during the war years, including the Ariel W/NG, the BSA B30, the Matchless G3, the Royal Enfield WD/C, and the Velocet MAF, all of which had a 350cc engine similar to that of the Triumph. Larger, more powerful motorcycles were built by Norton and BSA, and lighter vehicles were built by Excelsior, James, Royal, Enfield, but the standard was the 350cc cycles represented by the Triumph, including 6,345 impressed civilian motorcycles, which were called into service at the start of hostilities. British forces had 21,000 motorcycles in September of 1939. By June 1940, over 50,000 were in service, and by VE Day in 1945, almost 270,000 were in use. British industry producing 425,000 was able to keep pace with the demand, and some American Indian and Harley-Davidsons were also required. In addition to supplying its own hard-pressed forces, the British also supplied a large number to the Russian and British Commonwealth forces. The Triumph 3HW was used in many forms. The 350cc overhead valve engine was a single-cylinder, 10-horsepower unit which supplied enough power to make this relatively lightweight motorcycle, it weighed 320 pounds, very quick and agile. Sitting on a 52.5-inch wheelbase, the Triumph was only 81 inches long. This cycle was best known as that used by the famous Red Devils, the elite paratroop arm of the British forces. The Triumph was dropped with the troops to provide quick reconnaissance and messenger capabilities necessary to establish communications between these often widespread units. Helping overcome coordination problems between motorcycle columns was the greatest contribution made by the Triumph motorcycle. As the enemy retreated, even the most elementary road signs were removed to confuse the advancing Allied forces. The motorcycle-mounted military police and dispatch riders could move quickly through or around armored columns to keep men, equipment, and supplies directed to the required locations. This difficult job would have been impossible without the military motorcycle. As so many vehicles were in use, exact camouflage and painting information is very sketchy, and each cycle was converted to fit which field requirements according to supplies available and landscaper. Let's try this again. And so many vehicles were in use, exact camouflage and painting information is very sketchy, and each cycle was converted to fit with field requirements according to supplies available and landscape over which it would be used. For the European theater after 1942, the basic color was a dark brown, dark heart color, they call it. It was later replaced by a dark field green, and in the last months of the war by a deep bronze green. Vehicles in the Middle East and African theater used a light sand-colored basic paint. Each vehicle was repainted to fit varying conditions and would often be changed at a moment's notice to fit a particular application. So, I did not do mine in military colors. I used that metallic brown by Tamiya, X34, I believe it is. So, I'm going to move you. Like again I said, if you just want to go look at pictures at the end, they're up there, even there, go look. So, all right, hang on. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, so, I don't know what the hell I'm going to build next. I might get back on the ship. We'll see. All right, here we go. It's going pretty good. I'm happy with it. Guys, tell me what you think. So here she is. Here we are. These back saddlebags. I had to fix these. You see the strap? Well, that strap was supposed to go right across. All right? Went from this side over here all the way across to the other side. All right? But the only problem is, what it did was, it made these bottoms come out. Because there's no contact points on the bottom here, boys. The only contact points are these two little nipples up here on this rack that go into two little holes in the back here. There's nothing down the bottom to glue to. So when I had that strap, like I said, both sides, they kept coming out. And there was just nothing I could do to get them. So what I did was, I cut the strap in half. I kind of like it better this way anyway. And I pinned it to the back with a little sewing pin. Cut it, painted it black, all right? But I think it looks much better than it did. Over here, I want to point this out. I don't know how good you can see it, but right in here, there's this long thing that comes all the way down, and this pivots off the bike. I had it does work, but I think once I painted everything, I'm not going to try to move it now. But I think what that was is it pivoted out and it had a big spike in the bottom. And I'm pretty sure you drove that into the ground, and if you had to use it for to hide behind, that's what I'm thinking it was used for. I don't know. But let's get this helmet out of the way. Yeah, but I think she come out pretty freaking good. This front end, man, holy crap. Yeah, this front end is quite a piece of technology, I'll tell you. We got the spring in there. We got our Sten gun. Oh, I wrapped the exhaust. I wrapped up the exhaust. But I think she come out pretty good considering. The pegs do fold out. See if we can get this one to fold out. Yeah. That one folds out. See if we can get this other side to fold out. Get out of the way. Oh, Jesus. Yep, that folds out. The kickstand does work. It's got the spring on it. You can see the spring in there. Now see the spring comes off. The spring comes off this peg. But it's in there. Trust me, it's in there. But yeah. I wish there were a couple of things I wish I would have done. A couple of these lines that come off, especially the ones that go to the carburetor. I should have put those on the carburetor first and left them on there and glued them and just left the two lines hanging, because I could not get those in there. I couldn't get them on. They're stuffed, so I just stuffed them up into there. You can't even see it from here. So springs on the seats. But yeah, I'm really happy how this came out. We got the gun, we got the stun gun. So yeah, the wrap, that's just surgical tape with some brown wash on it, brown panel line wash on it, and a little bit of black on the edges. But yeah, let me know what you think. There's a glass up under there. Yeah, let me know what you think, fellas. Like I said, I like it. I like how it come out. Get the so I was going to put some decal. Oh, the other thing I did, this centerpiece on the tank was not there, but I kind of put it on it because it carries through with both fenders. Both fenders have that in there, as you can see, one up here. So I said, you know what? I think I'm going to put a half. That's a piece of half round, and yeah, I think that follows through pretty nice. Again, metallic brown. So yeah, let me know what you think, fellas. Again, I don't know what's going to be next, but pictures at the end as always. So I think I'll be jumping on this ship, I think. Get a little bit more of that done. I don't know if I want to work a whole month on it again, but all right. Oh God, 12 minutes. Christ. There it is, guys. Let me know what you think. Appreciate everybody that's commented and subbed and not subbed, and it is what it is. All right, guys, have a good day, huh? Have a nice week. Talk soon. Peace out.